This NFL Props Week 6 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBET. Bet $100 at WynnBET and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today.
Hey, this is Derek Stevens. I'm the owner of Circa Las Vegas. You're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Ooh, welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. We were on the air less than 12 hours ago.
Yeah.
Just for the record.
Yes.
Putting in fucking work.
Putting in work. Bonus prop episodes. People have been enjoying the props episodes because people like betting props. It's not rocket science. Hey, you want to talk about picks? People like hearing picks, Ryan. Going to be doing some NFL props. Make sure, obviously, we did the picks episode. Bonus Thursday night props only episode for the Thursday night primetime game.
Yeah, let us know if you like. Let us know if you like. Maybe we'll keep that around going forward.
The solo Thursday, good way to like showcase some of the guys on the network, Ryan, because we have an expanding roster of content. So many podcasts, so much content, all completely FREE. Like Tom Odette, we keep the lights on. You know how we do that? It's our nice little partnership with WynnBET. Bet with the best, baby. WynnBET. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. Bet $100. Get a $100 risk-free bet. Of course, make it in that WynnBET Biggest Winners Club. I did not hit my 18-team parlay, Ryan, but whoever hits the biggest parlay odds-wise, you don't have to put a ton of money on, 10, 15, 20 bucks, whatever it is. Obviously you win the bet, but then you get a bonus $1,000 free bet. Last week someone turned $6 into $4,000. Plus you get the free bet. I mean, it's really, truly.
#Legends only.
So much to choose from, so much to bet on. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at WynnBET.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WynnBET is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Joining us on the line, you know him from the Propcast, the NFL Gambling Podcast, the NBA Gambling Podcast. He does it all. The man, the myth, the machine, Munaf Manji. What's up, Munaf?
Gentlemen, what's going on? Can't believe it's already NFL Week 6, but I found it cute that Kramer said we were on air only 12 hours ago. That's kind of cute. Maybe you should up your podcast game, game there, Kramer. Come on.
Wow. Yeah. So Munaf talking shit because obviously he's just laying serious asphalt on the fucking audio trails.
Basically, Ryan's just the guy who goes, I just did 3 bicep curls, and Munaf's over here, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He's in the gym just pumping iron all the time.
Munaf actually does legs. That would be the analogy. I'm the guy who's working only on the biceps. Munaf's doing squats.
Never
in
forgets,
the dark when no one's watching.
Never forgets leg day. And we got some. We're going to be talking to you early next week. I think Monday morning as well. We'll be doing NBA. Apparently is back. News to me, but the national.
And shout out to Munaf for reminding us.
I'm already so annoyed at the Ben Simmons stuff. It's like, look, he's passing. He did brick a couple. Social media is great for that because they're not showing. They're not going to show a Ben Simmons missed jumper on Sports Center. That would be cruel. But God bless like the Philly sports media accounts because they will show a complete whiff of a jumper. I mean, you can see terror in the man's eye as he like pulls up for an elbow jumper. If Ben Simmons had my jumper, he might be the greatest player of all time because no one guards him at the elbow. Unguardable from the elbow, I'm like 65%, Ryan.
It's true. Sean can hit that corner free throw spot.
It's my heater.
With some nice arc too. Obviously, being a shorter gentleman, you got to get it over the trees.
Oh, come on.
You set yourself up for that one. But yeah, I mean, I did see someone clowning on Ben Simmons missing a shot. So obviously, I knew the NBA was close because we were back to making fun of Ben Simmons for being the softest athlete in the history of the world.
He was out for a year for sadness.
Done. I'm not apologizing.
No.
Funny aside, real quick. I know we're talking NFL props, but we were having a conversation about, mental illness versus mentally weak, with the kids in the context of sports. And I brought up Ben Simmons, and I said that's being weak. That's not mental illness. That's weakness. Like being sad because you missed the shot is normal. Now go fix it. Get in the backyard. And there's a girl that plays on my daughter's volleyball team, and her mom tells her like all she hears is the sound of dun because she's just hitting a volleyball against the wall. The sun's down, just hitting. Ben Simmons is not doing that.
I know. It's like I didn't put in all that.
How
work.
long would he last in the NFL?
Oh my God. I don't. That's the great thing. Yeah, that's the great thing about the NFL. You can be a freak of an athlete. You still have to have some sort of work ethic to hang around. Maybe at the quarterback position, but for the most part, if you're not putting in the work, you're just going to get murdered and you'll be out of the league.
Certainly Australia has taken away his citizenship.
I still don't. I can't. The fact that he's from Australia makes no sense to me because and we have a bunch of Australian listeners. A bunch of Australians in the Discord,
blue collar dudes.
They're a lively bunch. They're a scrappy bunch of dudes. They're not, when they got to put in a 12-hour shift in the mine, they don't go, oh, hey, my didgeridoo is broken. I'm sad. I ain't gonna go in the mine. That's a horrible accent, but
it got there at the end.
Yeah, it's a didgeridoo. Oh crikey! I can't be digging in the mine. I'm sad in me head.
This is where you need Colby.
This is where we need Pick Dundee to take us down under.
That's not a pick. That's not right, a Sean, mental sadness. This is.
We need a Pick Dundee video, like a cameo for Ben Simmons, wishing him words of encouragement. This is all right. Let's write that down. So we
will get on that. Enough messing around. We're here to talk NFL props for week 6, giving out our favorite 5 for the slate on Sunday. I'll kick it off.
Okay.
I mentioned him in the DFS episode. I didn't actually end up playing him. This didn't make sense build wise, but Zach Ertz, I like the receptions. I'm only seeing the yards right now, but I like both. Zach Ertz over 48.5 receiving yards.
What really?
Isn't that super low?
There's been a couple players I feel like they're just off on. I still that makes me think that
Seattle is horrible against the tight end. Ooh. I mean, they're like dead last in defense. Period. They're really good at offense. Even like the Eagles, who are pretty
48.5.
Yeah, who are pretty decent against the tight end. They held him to even them 48. Like he's getting. Here are his targets: 4, 11, 10, 6, 10. Like.
It's a big soccer city too. He'll have some support from the Julie Ertz crowd. That's a nice prop, Sean.
Thank you, sir.
I figure we'll just get this out of the way because what the fuck are we doing here? Matt Stafford. I mean, at this point, it's a system play. I'm surprised you didn't lead off with Matt Stafford is minus 105 to go over 1 interception. All right, just for reference.
J.C. Horn is good.
Just listen to this. For reference. Minus 180 for Zach Wilson, minus 215 for Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
You can make the price for Stafford minus 200 if you want. You don't have to do this. Why are you just allowing people to? All right, so that's my first. We're gonna take Matt Stafford's over for interceptions until he doesn't throw one. Right?
Yeah, I mean he's leading the league in interceptions. It's crazy.
What's easier to pick, an NFL side or Stafford to throw a pick? Are you kidding?
I wish they allowed that in the Circa Millions contest. It's so easy.
I'm gonna play Stafford to throw a pick.
Munaf, what do you got? What's your what's your number one prop here?
Well, just to make sure we didn't share any notes because you guys already just named 2 out of the 5 that I have.
Oh, no.
So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go and dig up some more while we're recording here. But I'll start off with another one here. I'm going to go George Pickens over 46.5 receiving yards. this week. And I know we now have Kenny Pickett as the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And ever since he's kind of stepped in, George Pickens has kind of been that guy. I know we saw a lot of reports during training camp and practice and all that good stuff that George Pickens was supposed to be the offensive rookie of the year. But now with Kenny Pickett at quarterback, we're starting to see the targets, his target share is up, the receptions are up, and his receiving yards are up. So I know it's a very small sample, but at least over the last 2 games, targets total 16, 8 in each, receptions 6 in each against the Jets and the Bills, 102 receiving yards against the Jets, and then 83 against the Buffalo Bills last week. So I think that's going to continue this week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'm going to take George Pickens over 46.5 receiving yards.
Love it.
I mean, it does seem like it's odd to me that they're not, because they could set these lines higher. I don't think people would smash in on the under at a higher price. So because these guys are like, fantasy's trendy, it's popular. Like I don't see how you watch this team and you don't see Pickens as the primary alpha.
Well, and also like I know Deontay Johnson gets a ton of targets, a ton of looks, but Deontay Johnson is not anywhere near as efficient as Pickens, especially to Munaf's point, since Kenny Pickett took over. Like they seem to have a legit connection. It's probably it's probably based that, hey, he was running with the twos a bunch. And I do think Pickens is a good prospect. And I like the opportunity against this Tampa Bay defense, which clearly is not quite the same as they've been previous years. And even, they could get it in garbage time. They could get it, they could get this in any sort of game script. So George Pickens was on my list. I'll work up a bonus one as we go here. My next pick, give me Kirk Cousins over a half interception. Ryan, guess what the price is on this?
I know, because I pulled all of them just to see why we're still setting Stafford at -105. It's right in that range of like maybe even +100.
+110. So +110 right now. And Kirk Cousins to throw an interception, who has quietly thrown 5 interceptions. He threw 3 on the road against Philly, and he threw 1 on the road against the Saints. And he threw 1 last week against the Bears.
And for those people who keep saying the Giants are the worst 4-1 team of all time, the Giants have a higher DVOA than the Vikings.
Yeah.
Just if we're going to call that shit out, like
Vikings feel really fraudulent to me overall, but we
some of that is they got their ass beat by the Eagles. Like a really lopsided result out of 1 out of 5 can kind of skew some of this stuff.
Well, and again, I think Philly, again, obviously not the same quarterback and offense, but I think Philly's defense is going to be able to pressure him. I think getting Xavier Howard back is huge, and I think it's going to force Kirk Cousins into some mistakes. Non-conference road favorite, Kirk Cousins is not. So give me Kirk Cousins over a half interception. Probably my favorite prop on the board, honestly. Kramer, what do you got?
Squeaky wheel bet here. Aaron Jones 2 touchdowns is 4-1. Probably 16-1 for 3 touchdowns. I figured I'd be a little bit more realistic. A 4-1 dog. What are we talking? 10 point dog. That's not something you do every weekend. Yeah, it's just squeaky wheel. I mean, Aaron Jones was saying, "Hey, why didn't I get the ball more?" Aaron Rodgers is saying, "Hey, why didn't we get the?" It seems obvious. So this. Kind of, we've seen this script before. Aaron Jones is going to catch some balls out of the backfield. Maybe this is a game where we haven't seen that game where he catches 6, 7, 8 balls. This could be it. I think he gets to the end zone twice, and I'm not a lot of sharps out there like the Jets, especially at 7.5. and I got to be honest, I'm not seeing it. Also, kind of had a dream about this because I've been thinking about it. I wonder if the thing we should be tracking with these London teams is the game after the game. Because we saw both London teams last week kind of show that they the fourth quarter, maybe their legs fell out from under them. So I wonder how they're going to do this week. But all of that being said, I just can't buy the Jets on the road. So I think Aaron Jones 2 touchdowns, 4-1 prop.
Yeah,
on a Thursday morning.
Let's go. Munaf, what do you got?
Let's go down south.
Hello, Munaf.
This is not the part of the Manscaped read.
Yeah, not yet, right? Joe Burrow headed back to the state of Louisiana, over 1.5 passing touchdowns against the Saints.
Yes, sir.
You're headed back down, where you played college ball, where Joe Burrow became that guy, won the state, or it's not the state champ, the college national championship. I think this is a bounce back spot for the Cincinnati Bengals headed into a dome. Jamar Chase, you have speed with him. Hopefully, T. Higgins is back as well. You still have Tyler Boyd. I mean, I think for Joe Burrow to get at least 2 touchdowns here, I think that's very doable for him. Saints defensively haven't, they won last week, but we saw Geno Smith was able to take advantage of that secondary and get some, big plays down the field. Yeah. He had 3 touchdown passes himself, did Geno Smith. There's no reason I don't think Joe Burrow can get at least 2 passing touchdowns. So give me Joe Burrow over 1.5 passing touchdowns.
Joey B.
I like that.
Yeah, no, it feels like, and again, dome, Bengals have had their own issues on offense. So that game quietly could be one to look to target for DFS, because that I think has some shootout potential. Something to keep an eye on there. All right, my next one, I'm going Breece Hall, and you can get over 82.5 rushing.
You've turned into a Breece Hall guy.
Well, I'm turning into a Breece Hall guy because the Jets are turning into Breece Hall guys. Like they're going out of their way to get him involved in the passing game, in the receiving game. I mean, last week he had 197 total yards. Rushing and receiving, it's only 82.5 this week. Now, one of it was, he had a massive catch and run, but they're still obviously getting him involved in the passing game. He had 18 carries. Like he's going to get 20 touches. I think for him, if you're giving him 20 touches, 4.1, you're getting there. So yeah, give me Breece Hall over 82.5 rushing and receiving yards.
I'm in. Yeah, I don't mind that. All right, this one. I
mean, we saw Saquon had a good game.
I'm
I think they're trying to make Zach Wilson's job easy, which is good play calling.
Yeah, my issue is I think we've seen some explosive plays, and people are like bundling up Breece Hall's like fun, exciting play with Zach Wilson is playing well.
Oh yeah, and I don't. I think Zach Wilson's playing like okay is probably the best grade you can give on it. Yeah, I mean they put up 40 points and he had 14 completions. That's do the math on that.
All right, what are we doing next?
Next prop, Ryan. What do you got?
All right, Josh Allen. This one I had to dig around, but I'm guessing this is fair. Josh Allen to go over 39.5 rushing yards. Did that seem low to you?
Yeah.
Yep.
It should be like 47. I found this in the wild, so I couldn't verify, but I think whatever the rushing prop is, I'll call it even 50 yards. We're gonna go over. Look, this is a survival revenge spot, and even though I'm not necessarily on the side that thinks they're gonna take it down, I think he's gonna be playing balls out, balls to the wall. Well, I wasn't able to find a Mahomes rushing prop, but I probably would stack those two together. Just alphas playing each other. They're gonna do everything they can to get the game going. So Josh Allen to go over 50 rushing yards or whatever it opens at. I like him. Like I almost would want to find him to have 100 rushing yards.
Well, that's
a fun prop for this game.
Ryan, you mentioned, and you could see like I'm seeing this game similar to the Bills Ravens game.
What did he have in that game?
Yeah, which is a good comparison in my mind. 11 for 70. Like okay. he knows game against and he runs in these 2-minute drills. Like I think the fact that again we're projecting the game probably to be close. You're going KC, I'm going Bills, but I think in both situations, to your point, he's going to be desperate. And the same reason why you take quarterback rushing yards over in playoff games, like backs against the wall. He's not going out of leaving Kansas City without a W.
I also think that the Chiefs are not going to let him do what he did last week and get us to the point where we're talking about Norm Van Brocklin and first half passing records.
They have to sit back and hope, try and force him to some underneath stuff and leave the rushing option open for him.
So that feels like a
I like that. Before we get to Munaf, rest of the props, shout out to Fubo TV. You love football. Why am I even asking? I know the answer is yes. You love college. You love pro football. Red Zone. If you don't have the NFL Red Zone, what are you doing with your life? And you can get the Red Zone really cheap. I know you think, oh, I got to get a cable. I got to get satellite. No, you can get Fubo TV. Again, cloud-based DVR, no contract, no commitment. You can cancel at any time. Right now, you can try for free for 7 days. Again, try it out. If you haven't, I mean, there might be listeners to the show who have never experienced the joy of NFL Red Zone. Try the free trial. You're going to enjoy it. And you get 15% off your first month. Go to our link so they know we sent you. That's FuboTV.com/SGP. FUBOTV.com/SGP. We're also brought to you by Odds Trader. That's right. Odds Trader is the place to compare odds from all the major books, find the best promos, best sign-up codes. And again, you can track your bets. You can get handicapping info, play-by-play updates, weather reports, injury data. They really have it all. All you got to do is go to oddstrader.com. That's ODDS Trader, TRADER.com/Blue Wire. Oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. Odds Trader, the #1 site for all your game day bets. Picking it up with Munaf. It's your next prop here, Munaf.
It's almost an automatic play every single week. And I know he's dealing with, I think he had an injury last week, but Cooper Kupp over 94.5 receiving yards. I mean,
it is funny.
64 targets this season through 5 weeks, 49 receptions. He's gone over 100 yards receiving in 4 out of the 5 games so far this season. I mean, against Dallas last week, 125, against the Niners, 122, 108 against the Falcons, 128 against the Bills. He had a down week against the Arizona Cardinals, but I think that it's pretty. We know it, guys. It's Cooper Kupp, and then there's a significant fall off for this receiving group for the Los Angeles Rams. So if they're going to keep pricing this at under 100 yards, I got to keep taking the over on Cooper Kupp. I think it's pretty much an automatic play for me. So Cooper Kupp over 94.5 receiving yards.
It is a tough matchup this week, in theory. He's catching JC Horn. So.
Well, I think the Rams will be playing from behind. They'll get it in garbage time. I mean, when you target a guy 20 times a game, the real next level prop is Ben Skoranek. Because that dude is
AKA. I have a nickname for him.
I don't know why he
the
cracks
decoy.
Me up.
We're gonna start calling him the decoy.
He does kind of look like if you have it on like a second screen and you're like, oh, is that Cooper Kupp? Like in the corner of your eye, and maybe that's why Stafford keeps
Your brain never registers more than one white receiver.
Yeah.
So when
Max is out at one,
like, what's
it's got
2 Cooper Kupps? What are they doing?
Allen Robinson, man, what a God. He's still a beast. Speaking of beasts, Christian McCaffrey in this same game, I'm taking the over 38.5 receiving yards. I mean, you have he's not a rookie quarterback, but again, 3rd career start. You're going to give PJ Walker the easiest stuff you can. Easy stuff is throws to Christian McCaffrey. He's coming off a 12 target game, 7 for 50, 9 for 81. Like I don't know. Like it seems like he's trending more up in usage. I just don't see how this doesn't hit. Maybe they go all out on covering a running back pass. I don't even really know how you. Maybe they sit in like a weird zone or something. But I mean, 10 catches is in the realm of possibilities for Christian McCaffrey. So 38.5 receiving yards, I think, is a little low.
I thought that was his floor.
I was saying that was his floor.
That's your floor projection.
Ryan was trying to, alpha me with some math of R equations and mean and min and max. Well, you're confusing average projection with mean projection. So if
everyone knows the difference between median and mean,
you median. Ryan goes, you cannot project him for more than 7 receptions. I go, I'm projecting him from 10. My model has him at 10, Ryan. My model's awesome.
Am I up?
Yeah, real quick in the chat. Ooh. Eric wants to know
what's up, Eric.
Munaf, do you like Chase long reception in that game for the Saints Bengals? I'm assuming he's saying like longest reception.
Longest reception, yeah. I think I do, and it depends. The thing with the Cincinnati Bengals, I think other defenses start to figure out that if you play that too high shell against the Bengals and try to keep everything in front of you, I think that's what the defense is starting to catch on about this Bengals defense. Now, last week against the Saints, last week against the Seahawks, they gave up, I think, 2 long bombs to Tyler Lockett and both DK Metcalf. So I think Jamar Chase, this might be the game where Jamar Chase does get loose, even if it's not over the top. I mean, he has speed, right? He could catch that, let's say 10 yards down the field and break it out for a long reception because he just has that speed, that yak that we talk a lot about on the Propcast. So yeah, I think it's a possibility this week, especially on turf.
You ready for this one?
Yep. Let's go.
Jeff Wilson Jr.
Yeah.
So it just locked in for workload. Carries. I looked for the carries. I wasn't able to find it. Rushing yards over 66.5. They're playing Atlanta, who sits in the towards the bottom of the league in rushing DVOA. We saw Lenny have a nice game last week. It seems like a low number for a guy who's going to flirt with 20 carries.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take Jeff Wilson. They spent the week in West Virginia. They probably did some sack races, maybe played some banjo. Moonshine was involved. West Virginia strip clubs are full nude. Little known fact. Why do you think San Francisco's? I mean, they're even better than the Atlanta.
To know when to come.
So over 66.5 rushing yards for Mr. Jeff Wilson.
We got another question in the chat. YouTube.com/sportsgambling podcast. If you want to get in. Subscribe, turn the notifications on so you don't miss us live. Charles Liggins wants to know, do you take the CMC combo rush receiving yards? I don't. I'd like just the receiving prop there. I know he will probably also get a decent number of carries, but I think that's a little easier to scheme up against. So I'm going just receiving yards.
I think it's also like he has been running the ball better, right?
Well, he had that 100-yard game, and then last game he was 14 for 54, which wasn't amazing.
But from a volume perspective, like
I think again,
but the last 2 games he has 21 targets.
I wouldn't take the under on that, but I like the receiving yards in and of itself as a better bet.
Assuming they because we were talking about this. I feel like there's the version of this where they're like, "What? You're gonna fucking trade us too? Like fuck you." I mean,
no, I think I'm leaning more towards Matt Rule didn't know what the fuck he was doing. We're going to show you what we can do as players.
Yeah.
But again,
Steve Wilkes, 2013.
There is a couple. There are a couple wild cards, of course. PJ Walker in there as well.
2-0, baby. Where's I should have brought my Houston Renegades or Roughnecks shirt in.
Yeah,
we were going all the way. We were going all the way, and then we were canceled. All right, well, where are we at?
Next up, Munaf. What do you got, Munaf?
All right, yeah, we just talked about Seattle Seahawks. DK Metcalf over 67.5 receiving yards. Over the last couple of weeks, he's actually seen an increase in targets. But I think Geno Smith has been able to find DK Metcalf down the field, right? Over the last 2 weeks, he's had long receptions of 50 and 54, but he's also averaging 10 targets per game over the last 3 weeks. And this Cardinals secondary is just atrocious. I mean, Sean, you saw it last week. You were there at the game. Devontae Smith was eating. We saw week 1, the Kansas City Chiefs put up a 44 spot against that team. I think this might be the game that both Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf just have their way against the secondary of the Arizona Cardinals. So I'm going to take DK Metcalf over 67.5 receiving yards.
I heard you say Devonta Smith, and I heard Sean respond acknowledging who that was, but I thought his new name was Skinny Batman.
Skinny Batman. You're right. Yeah, please call him Skinny Batman.
Sorry, Skinny Batman. My apologies.
No, I and again, they struggled with AJ Brown early on in that game. I think, and from what I dug up, I think what the issue was, they ended up getting a couple of their linemen knocked out. So they were a little less aggressive down the field and worked up a bunch of bubble screens to Devonta. I don't know if that was the game plan coming in necessarily. But yeah, I again, any overs in that game, I'm pretty much on board, right? Like, what am I missing here?
No,
Ryan, I did the digging on the 2 PJ Walker career starts. Do we want to know what his?
They're bad.
No, because I want to look up. Okay, so his one start, what's his face? Christian McCaffrey was not playing. DJ Moore did have 7 for 127. Curtis Samuel 8 for 70. Robbie Anderson 7 for 46.
Is he an upgrade from Baker?
Oh, 200%.
Yeah,
200%.
And here you go. In 2021, Christian McCaffrey was in the game. They beat the Panthers 34, or they beat the Cardinals 34-10, and McCaffrey had 10 catches, 66 yards. So he has experience.
Sounds
throwing
about
to Christian
right.
McCaffrey.
10 catches. Was that your projection?
Yes, that was my projection. My model is showing 10 catches for Christian McCaffrey. Last prop for me, bonus one because Munaf stole my Pickens prop, and I give that one out almost every week now. Younghoe Koo over 1.5 field goals for the Atlanta Falcons, coming off a 0 field goal game, but he's had a ton.
The YouTube kicker, as
Yes.
Decker would call him.
The trick shot kicker. He was 4 for 5 week 1, 1 for 2, then 2 for 2, 3 for 3. He's due for some field goals against a very good 49ers defense, a defense that can shore up in the red zone as well. I think they're going to be settling for field goals if they get points at all. But over 1.5 and you're getting plus odds on it, I like it. So give me Younghoe Koo.
All right, let's go back and pluck out a defensive touchdown this week. But found some value. I almost went to Green Bay because it does feel like the media in general is talking a lot of shit about Green Bay's defense this week after they took one on the chin from international man of mystery Dan Jones. But there's just a pricing problem here. Sean.
Yes.
Does Jimmy G know how to throw an interception? Does Jimmy G know how to turn the ball over with the best of them? Are they missing 2 left tackles? Atlanta is 8-1 to score a defensive touchdown at home. I'm taking that. That is a crazy price. That is an absolutely crazy price. Jimmy G on the road sucks. And I know I get it. Like I like them in this spot. They stayed in West Virginia, all that, but 8-1 is too much, period. Almost went with the Dolphins against Kirk Cousins, but even that was only 500. So 8-1 Falcons scored defensive touchdown.
Wow, Ryan.
Oh my God.
I mean, isn't that what we're supposed to be doing here? Finding value.
We're value.
You want some even money bullshit? Is that what you want?
Munaf, you got any more props to give out? I wasn't not keeping track.
Yeah, I'll give out one more.
There we go.
I was looking for his rushing yards, but it's not out yet. But I'm gonna go with his touchdown. It's Ramondre Stevenson for the Patriots to get to find the end zone. I mean, this Browns rush defense over the past couple weeks, especially against the Falcons and the Chargers. I mean, God, they gave up 199 on the ground to the Falcons. Allowed 2 rushing touchdowns in that game to them, I believe. Yeah. And then last week we saw what Austin Eckler did against his Browns defense as well. And we know that Bill Belichick he has revenge on his mind against his Cleveland Browns team. Damian Harris, we know is going to be out. It's going to be the Ramondre Stevenson show. I was looking for his over on his rushing yards, but I think for him to find the end zone anytime at plus 115, plus 120, I'm going to take that all day. So give me his anytime touchdown at plus 115 for Stevenson.
I'm going to introduce the audience to something fun. So something Bowser and I will do once in a while is just play the ladder on a player.
Yeah.
Take the player props, yardage like 60, 70, 80, 90, all the way up, and you kind of you weight it heavier at the bottom and lighter at the top. Well, I've been dabbling with this idea for touchdowns.
Yeah. Would have been awesome for Travis Kelce.
Stevenson this week, like Munaf said, single touchdowns plus 120, 2 touchdowns is plus 650, 3 touchdowns, which I'll give out the 2 touchdowns. I'll plop that right next to Aaron Jones. One of those 2 is hitting, if not both. Ramondre Stevenson to have 3 touchdowns though. He's the goal line back.
Yeah,
they could they just blew out a team.
Run the ball.
They want to run the ball, and the Browns are horrible against the run. And how many touchdowns did Eckler just score?
Yeah,
enough
2.
said.
No, I think Eckler might have had 3, right?
Receiving touchdown in there, right?
Yeah.
3
total.
Sorry. Yeah, he had
Ramondre Stevenson to score 3 touchdowns, 28-1.
Love it.
That's a fun bet for this weekend. I'm actually going to play that right now.
Ryan, closing it out here. I'll give out my team to score a defensive touchdown. Give me the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, the Eagles one.
Is it 5-1, right?
6-1.
Ooh, that's not so bad.
Miami Dolphins 6-1, and a little sprinkle in them first touchdown at 35-1. Miami Dolphins defense and special teams.
when I pulled this, I didn't see New England's defensive touchdown was 550. Now we'll give all the touchdowns to Stevenson in that game.
All right, so Miami Dolphins,
like it.
That'll do it. Hey, Munaf, thanks for calling in. We're going to talk to you Monday AM, doing some NBA win totals. Give Munaf a follow at SportsNerd824. Check him out on the NFL Gambling Podcast, the NBA Gambling Podcast, the Propcast. He is everywhere, grinding out sweet content, giving out a bunch of winners. Congrats to our Houston Texans getting the first win of the season.
9
Let's
in a
go,
row
baby.
against Jags, baby.
Yeah, they own them. It's great. Hey, toss us a nice rating review. Just emailed the winner of Merch Monday. Every Monday, giving away $100 gift card to the SGPN store. Bunch of sweet gear in there. All you got to do is take a screenshot of you submitting your review, submit it via the app, and you got a chance to win a $100 gift card to the SGPN store.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Sean, Eric wants to know if I like Bellinger this week. All overs, baby.
Kramer, let it ride. Thanks, Munaf. Good stuff.
All right, guys. I'll
to you
talk to
later.
y'all.